Rust. Team J10. Because you clicked on this video, you probably know what I'm talking about. But when someone says that, they will mostly go on to explain it anyway. So will I. So, in the video game Rust, an OTV server was created. On that server, 10 creators eventually came together in a team they called Team J10. At the end, this team consisted of Sykkuno, Valkyrae, Corpse, Jacksepticeye, Ash, Tina Kitten, Box aka Bo, Brofane and Wellen. It seems that the OTV Rust days are over, because many of the creators have stopped playing. So, as Team J10 brought me a lot of fun, I figured now would be a fun time to make a tier list. It's not a tier list of who I like more or anything like that. It is based on what they brought to my experience of watching Team J10. Please subscribe to my channel, as this is the first video I've ever made, and let me know in the comments what your opinions are on the J10 team. So, I will go through the members from left to right, as the pictures are shown here. I base my opinion on multiple streams I've watched from almost all of the members, at least 1 or 2 streams when they were playing Rust. If you don't agree with my opinion, please don't hate me, everybody hates me already. Just leave a comment on what your opinion is. That is also what makes it fun for me. Starting with Ash, I'm going to say it right away. Ash is definite S tier. I think she's top of the group in terms of what she brought to the experience. She was online a lot of the time. She was always working for resources. She came with ideas. She joined the raids a lot. My feeling tells me she was just everywhere. And that's what I really like about her, because she has a very fun personality as well. She's bubbly, but also makes some really, like, quote-unquote mean jokes, which I think are really funny. So combining her personality with the fact that she helped the team a lot and was online a lot of the time makes her a definite S tier for me. And I didn't know her before this, but now that I do know her from Rust, I also watch more of her streams because she's a really nice person. Moving on to Box, his friends call him Bo. It's probably because that is his name, I guess. I think I'm going to put him in A or B. The reason is it's not an S tier for me, because if I compare him to Ash, I think Ash brought more to my experience watching this team, but he was really important for the team. Like he was the wire guy, the electrician. I watched a lot of his streams because a lot of the time he was streaming when all the others were offline, and that's a big plus because I really like to watch this team. And it was really interesting how involved he got in the wiring stuff in Rust, and he became really good at it, and he made some really fun casino games, and he helped other people with their electricity. He was a really helpful guy, but the only thing about him that doesn't make him a definite A tier or an S tier is that he didn't really went on raids that much. He didn't really interact a lot with the rest of the team. When he became like the electrician, that was like the only thing he did, which made the experience a bit less all round in my opinion. I think I'm going to give him a A tier because of the way he helped a lot of people and how he really did his research for what he liked to do. Moving on to Brofane, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know him at all. I have never heard of him in my life. Till now Rust is over, I don't really watch his streams. But when I did, I surprisingly really enjoyed. It was at the time when the other members weren't online, and he was the only one streaming, so I thought, well, why not give it a go? And it was a stream in which he was like the photographer of the team. He made a lot of pictures and made his entire gallery with all the pictures being shown. And it was actually pretty interesting to watch. It was a stream where he followed Pokimane around for one day, and everything she did, he made a picture and with some cool text or just... It was a really fun and chill stream to watch. But the thing about it is, I can't really remember him joining the team and any raids or any activities, and also don't remember him interacting a lot with other people. The only thing he's got going for him, in my opinion, was that that he had really his own thing. Just like Bo, he had his own thing, which made him stand out. So I think I'm going to put him in B or C. I think C. I must confess, this is a hard one because I'm already going to spoil it for you. I'm not gonna give anyone a D.
Wait a minute!
Because I really like this team and they're all pretty cool. So I think I'm going to put him in C. And it's not because I don't like him or anything, but I just haven't seen a lot of him, so he didn't really make my experience any better. Maybe he's like the best guy out of all of them, but I just haven't seen. Well, it doesn't matter. Moving on to Corpse. As many people these days, I really like Corpse. He just blew up out of nowhere, and everybody knows The Voice. I also really like The Voice, it's just amazing when he talks, but he's probably heard a lot of that, so let's not talk about that anymore. Corpse was really funny in the team. He was like a betting addict, always saying the 5 is hot, the 5 is hot, stealing scrap from people and putting it on certain numbers to win more, and it was really entertaining to watch. But in terms of what he brought to the team, it was not a lot. That was like his skit, his thing he had going. He didn't really contribute to the team. He didn't really help them a lot, at least from what I have seen. But he was a really fun guy to have around. I guess he could have helped a bit more with resources. A lot of the times he was like, can anybody help me? I don't have anything. In terms of contribution to the team, he's probably like a D tier or something. But because of just his personality, how cool he is and how funny he made the entire thing, I'm going to give him a B tier. Moving on to Jacksepticeye, I must say I'm considering to give him an S tier as well. I think the most streams I watched from the Rust server was Jax, because he's just a very cool, down-to-earth guy in my opinion. It's really chill to watch his streams because almost everything he does and says, I think like, wow, he's right, you know. He has this way of not only making himself look good in terms of content, but also involving a lot of other people and giving others the chance to shine, and that's really made the server a lot better considering it is a roleplay server. He let other people talk. At one point he became like a sort of an interviewer for the only newspaper on the server, and he like interviewed anyone who did something special, and he really put them in the spotlight, and I really like that about him. Also, he helped a lot with resources, and lastly the fact that I think he lives in the UK, and considering that the OTV server almost are all American people, he had to play like in the middle of the night till early in the morning, and he did it like a lot of times in 1 week. I also watched by far the most hours from him, so I think for me he contributed maybe the most in terms of the fun. So I will put him next to Ash in the S tier. The next one is Ludwig. I must say, I do watch a lot of Twitch, but I never knew Ludwig before, and people seem to find that strange because he's a pretty big Twitch streamer. I got to know him through Rust, and now I always watch his streams when he's streaming. I think he's a really cool guy, really funny. He has really original ideas, funny content. A couple of days ago I watched a stream of him where he was doing like a game show that he created entirely, and it was really fun to watch, and it's just a really funny guy to watch. About Rust, I think he was one of the first that like stopped doing it a little bit, so that was a pity because I knew Ash and Jack were still doing it, and Ludwig already kind of stopped doing it. But still, when he was doing it, he did a lot of fun things. He ran for mayor, and I think he even won it and became like mayor of this server. And he was really good at like getting into the roleplay. He was helping his team, buying helicopters. He learned how to fly, so he could fly them to oil rigs and stuff. It was really fun to watch him play because you can really tell he was enjoying himself, and he really got into character for a lot of things. So because he's such a funny guy and got into character so much, I'm going to give him an A tier. The next one, Angel Sykkuno. Sykkuno is, I watch him a lot on Twitch. Sometimes I think he's a little weird, but that's like it makes it better or something, that sometimes you don't really understand what he's saying, and that kind of makes it even better for me. We all know Sykkuno is a really nice guy. He helped a lot of people. He got a lot of resources and just gave them away and gave scrap away, and not only to his own team but also to a lot of other people. He went on a lot of raids, rigs with the team, helped them out a lot. He is a good shooter. He knows a lot about the weapons in games, and he's really useful to the team. So that puts him pretty high. The only thing is, I guess it's not really his way of doing things, but it is a roleplay server, and he never really got into any roleplay kind of stuff. Always when I watched him, he was more like, he did find it funny. He laughed about other people when they make jokes and stuff like that. But on his own, he wasn't really, it was mainly like grinding, getting materials, and it wasn't really the roleplay part of things. So just because of that, he's not an S tier, but I still rate him very highly, so I will put him in A tier. Tina Kitten. I remember when Tina Kitten joined the team, it was like Sykkuno had built a house somewhere else, and Tina Kitten just joined him, and together they came to the J10 house, and Sykkuno was like, well, I found Tina Kitten, let's let her join the team, and that's how she joined the team. And I think she's a funny person. And also, she is really good at interacting with the other team members. It seems as though like everyone likes her, and I get that. I like her too. But I didn't really see a lot of her, so it's not really fair for me to rate her. I didn't see a lot of her going to rigs or really participating in things, and it could be that she did a lot of that, but it was just me who didn't see it. Well, then it's my fault. Blame it on me, not on Tina. But I'm going to put her in B tier, purely because I haven't seen enough of her to rate her the same as like Ludwig and Sykkuno, for example. So the final two, Valkyrae. She was the reason I got into Rust. Before the second server, they had another server, and she streamed on YouTube a lot on that server. And that's when I really got to know the game, and I really thought like, wow, this is an interesting game. And she's just a really fun type of person to watch streams of. Many times when I'm doing something else, I just put her stream on, and it's just really nice because you don't always have to pay attention, but many times there will be funny moments, and like you pay attention for a little while, and it's always gonna be fun no matter what. And she is a very honest person, so you don't really have to guess with her what she's thinking. She will just say to other people what she's thinking, and I think that's a really good quality, and it makes it more entertaining. So that's what I really like. But like she took a bit of a break from streaming, like midway through the server, I think. So it's not really fair for me to rate her that high, because she missed a lot of it because she was just taking a break, and that's good for your mental health, so always do that. Because of that, I can't give her an S tier or anything, but because she is the one for me to introduce me to the game, and in the beginning I watched the most streams of her, she will be a definite A tier for me, so right next to Sykkuno, her friend. And then finally, Wellin. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know this guy whatsoever, and I don't think I have watched any streams of him ever. So not even just regarding Rust, but like ever in the history of humankind. I do know he has like a pretty big fan base. A lot of people know him, but I just don't know him, and I have almost never seen him play Rust with the other guys as well. So maybe it was just me who watched at the wrong times, and he was on at like times I didn't watch. But for me, I can't give him a high rating because I didn't see anything of him. I think in the entire weeks of Rust, I just saw him have one conversation with Jack, I think, and I did think like, oh, this is a very good, funny guy. He has a funny laugh and funny jokes, but there's just not a lot I can say about him because I haven't watched anything of him at all. So Like I spoiled midway through the video, I will not put anyone in D tier because it's just a very fun team and I don't want to bash or insult anyone. So I'm going to put him in C tier right next to Brofane. So there you have it. This is my tier list of the J10 team from Rust in regards to what they brought to my experience. If you're watching this and you are thinking like, this guy is mental, he's insane, he is not right in the head, well, you're right. And just let me know in the comments what you would have done differently, because I love talking about this kind of stuff and about big creators, big streamers, big YouTubers. I just like a lot of them, so I'm always open to talk about them. So please subscribe. It's the first video I ever made on this channel. If you're thinking I like this guy, or I don't like this guy but I like his rating, maybe something like that, let me know in the comments if I should do other ratings or other tier lists or play some games or anything at all. Please just leave it in the comments and leave a like and subscribe. Thank you and bye.